40 seconds. Minus 30 seconds. Minus 20 seconds. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Can I have your attention, please? Tonight, we have for you entertainment of the most marvelous of sorts. That's right. Back from the dungeon, the King's Jester will give you the performance of a lifetime. It's true. So, without further ado, everyone, welcome to the show.
Around me that I can't see, you know, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. My whole demons life around me that I can't see, people always thought I was stupid, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. I'm smart as they come, just be careful what you're trying to pull. Being sneaky, trying to out-treat me, you must think I'm a fool. I'm the Grandmaster, the rocket scientist from Lancaster, dumping humongous buckets of flavor on you bland bastards. I eat rappers and crap souls, the ghost of the collapsed old shack where the black pumpkin patch grows. I scratched holes in the coffin that they latch closed, dug up through the ground, broke the surface and my ass rose. Now I stand with the staff in my hand, a broken man looking out over the land from which I was banned. But I return in disguise to blend amongst the people, menacing, seeking vengeance against any presumptive evil. Demon spawn, sneak in your room at the gleam of dawn, wake you up, stab you in the face before you even yawn. And this is how I envisioned it all along. Just give me the heads of those who imprisoned me, I'll be gone. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. I used to entertain people in such innocent ways. Now I juggle 4-foot ninja blades and pillars grenades, drinking kerosene and breathing flames. I sneeze at people and casually say excuse me while they scream in pain. You get indicted for corporate stock extortions, I get indicted for unlawfully breathing life into rotten corpses. In cemeteries in the blackest darkness, I start to track the park behind the maintenance shack, dig up and snatch a carcass and drag them back to the lair. You know what happens there, surgical staples and dry blood stained mattress tears, replacing fingers with claws, cutting faces with stars and implanting flesh eating jars bigger than that of bears. That means my army of zombies is on its way to you all. The militia assault for the likes of which you can't prepare. Contraire, let me chasing you as you run scared. Hop in your closet, light a match, and there's one there. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Demons around me that I can't see, lay down on my knees, but they won't leave. Welcome to the greatest asylum. Welcome to the greatest show. Welcome to the coldest, darkest hole. Watch the dancing Joker cry. Watch the teardrops on his eyes dry for all eternity. And so welcome to the one genuine article surrounded by a crock of facades. So with the final bow, y'all don't even gotta applaud, cause I can give a damn about claps. I get those by pushing people into empty pools full of cocked mouse traps. All along I've been waiting and waiting, the violence and wrath that my chains were negating, dreaming of times and dreaming of places when I could set you up and scream in the faces. Scream in your faces. Scream in your faces. monkey see, monkey do. So who the fuck made you? Who the fuck made you? It feels like 1,000 years since I've had enough. But when the price catches up, love will never be enough. Love will never be enough. Enough. Time to call your bluff. Got to sit and readjust. Enough. Let it go, it's tough. All the goddesses is rough. Watch your call to the top. How much can a heart take before a heart breaks? Until my gaze, I can't sustain. Round. Just playing the same damn game. I run away and I say you're drunk. You do what you can, and I'll bring the big sorrow. Push it to the edge. Push the cliff of the mountain. Play the game. Say my name, bitch. No cleaning, no answering. Healthy ending. Let the ball swing. It's all the same. Time to let go. Time to cut the cord. When love runs its course, always with no one. Walking breaks, walking lows. Just take this ache away and build a better place where we will be wrong. Instead I provide to the walls alone. Love will never be. Just a bunch of bullshit to take the pain away. Temporary fix, focus on the outside, while the soft bit flaps right away on the inside. Fuck that.
When we joined the Covenant, we took an oath.
According to our station, all without exception.
On the blood of our fathers, on the blood of our sons, we swore to uphold the Covenant.
Even to our dying breath.
Those who would break this oath are heretics, worthy of neither pity nor mercy. Even now, they use our Lord's creations to broadcast their lies.
We shall grind them into dust.
And continue our march to glorious salvation.
You're like the rest of My mic was off. I apologize. Hello, hello, hello. What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to yet another spontaneous live of mine. Today I want to talk about a few things. Mainly so though about body count. This may be an over talked about a issue, and I think a lot of people might assume what my stance is going to be on it, but a lot of people would be surprised as to what specifically my stance is because I never really stated before on what it is. I've pretty much just been a fly in the ball, blending in when it comes to this topic. But for the most part, over. If you really do think about it, and I understand that this is just one of those. I probably controversial. Depends on who's talking about it and how they go about it. But for the most part, I don't think it is. But I think it's just a small thing that people should. Well, they don't have to, but it could spark an interesting conversation. I think a lot of people who engage in this find themselves getting, I guess, emotional about it for some odd reason. Maybe because they're unhappy with their body count or how they've been addressed about it. But overall, I would say, at least just from my perspective, from the outside in, or however which way that's working. But honestly, for the most part, and mind you, I'm not. Ironically enough, I'm not subjugating anybody about this, right? From my stance personally, what I would say that honestly, overall, and going by the context of like today's standards, right? For the most part, I would say overall, no, it doesn't. Because if largely, by and large today, and statistics back this, not a lot of people are getting in relationships anymore, and or they're just maybe treating it like some type of an accessory, quote unquote bragging right of some sorts. But like I said earlier, going off of today's standards, if you're not going to settle down with her, if you don't have plans to, if you don't see yourself with her in the next 5 years, that this is just a fling or you know one day or nightstand, overall it really doesn't. Because if you're not there for the long haul and you know you don't want to be, then really there's no point into really asking the question because a lot of people will tell you offline they don't really talk about that. Now it's been a growing thing as of recently, right? Because of the content creators that go around in public asking these type of questions. Not just the body count question per se, but just like situational and relative stuff. And funny enough, I'm not even trying to advocate for casual sex. That in and of itself has been a detriment to society, I would say. And Within the same breath, I'm not trying to police people. I'm not trying to tell them what they shouldn't do, what they can and can't do. I've never been like that. That's your body. That's your whatever. I think I probably just get annoyed with it when people try to rebrand it or justify it, because then it just comes off as like flimsy and disingenuous. So Blanco, what up? How you doing? Now, not staying with on topic with that, there are relationships that have started with being a casual fling, like you slept with her or she, vice versa, and some sort of a. And I'll get into a deeper thing that I asked around about for this topic. I'll get into that a little later. But there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about with this. There are relationships that have become the product of the fling that started. Slept together, you didn't think you were going to, but then at the end of it, you're like, you know what? Let me get your number. We can do this again, and then the again becomes some type of the whole shebang. You want to meet up again, you want to do that again, you end up wanting to take her to dinner and the beach, the movies, this, that, and the third. There are relationships that have become of that, and they have kids, settle down, all that stuff. I wouldn't say it happens a whole lot, like it's common, but it has happened enough to where I think it would be safe to say that it's possible, like it's likely to happen. Now, on the other side of that, who do you think benefits more from that? Who's really the one gaining out of it? Who's getting more beneficially as opposed to losing out on it? Specifically, I would say I've gone back and forth on this. I have mixed feelings. So honestly, overall, I don't know. There are easy ways to say. There are easy things to say that he is winning out because X Y Z. She is winning because of A B C. But the flip side to that, on the I don't know, maybe it's negative or detrimental or not, but imagine, I'm just gonna go off anecdotally, which is, I know, not a big thing. It's a tiny pebble to a boulder. It's a drop of water to an ocean, but I can talk about it more better when it's more anecdotal. Anywho, men for the most part they can sleep around, right? It's not looked at as some type of and there are dudes who have caught feelings before, but I'm saying majority wise, a lot of the guys that do casually sleep around, that they need that release, they're just there too for that specific reason, just to release. They're not really there for, like, I mean, some are just for the conquering and plundering of all that, right? But they're not there for the relationship soul tie and stuff like that. Women, some women can do that, just sleep around and just not have the slightest bit of emotion or connection tied to it. which is ironically, I'm not calling a woman sociopathic in and of herself, because there was a study done a while back saying that sociopaths, when they do things for control, for power, and sex is largely one of those things that they use. So casual sex is technically sociopathic, but I get the understand the benefits of the release of stress and all that, endorphins and all that, whatever. But largely enough, within the same breath, women do tend to get more bonded with the said chosen spouse or lover. And I'm not mean like boyfriend and girlfriend, I mean like the person she chooses to let sleep with her, because of how women are. Mind you, I'm not throwing nobody under the bus or anything like that. I'm speaking rationally and with logic. A lot of people will say that women are more emotional and are more likely to bond with said chosen partner than the man is. So the man can sleep with the woman and just move on because it wasn't necessarily there for the love making. It was just sex. Everybody knows that those are two completely different things. So overall, I think that adds on to the. I'm brainstorming as I'm talking. That leads to the conversation in and of itself of OnlyFans. Would you date a chick if she did OnlyFans? Which is very contradictory in the nature of a question. Now, if you're talking about dating, now let me just put this out there, but a lot of people who talk about dating, I assume they're using it as some type of a conflating term, like um, like race and ethnicity and stuff like that. Like a lot of people conflate dating as some will say, "What is dating? You take her out, you spend money on her, and you're talking to get to know her, and you're potentially planning out your future, and you're getting a feel for her to see if whether or not that's what you want to put up with for the rest of your time with her, and or vice versa." But maybe it's maybe it's just me, but there's also the other thing when people say date as would you just sleep with? Would you just have a friends with benefits type of relationship with somebody? Just a sex and just a bed friend. Because if the body count thing doesn't matter, if you're not gonna settle down with her and all you're gonna do is just sleep with her, then does the OnlyFans thing play a part? Or is that where you draw the line and say I can't with that? It is a bit of a contradicting thing, I guess. Yo, what up, Sal? How you doing? That was a good show you had earlier. Wild work, brother. Maybe that's my dumb little man brain on me. A lot of things don't make sense to me in this world. I don't make an issue about it. I just maybe it's not the thing that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it's just a talking point and how people choose to go about that. I just don't understand. Because if you think about it, the relationship aspect of mind you, relationships are very different from dating, and it's very A lot of people have said this. Today is it's very hard and it's very different because the standard has reached a new, I guess, low. The bracket of like decency and yo 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 yo. I'm sorry, I had to check something. Real quick. I apologize. Yeah. A lot of people have said a lot today. It's very different. A lot of men say a lot of women ain't worth it today because of X, Y, Z. Women have said the same thing because of A, B, C. So with all that, I guess I probably would pose a question on what's the antidote, what's the fixture, what's the remedy to get back to dating rather than the instant gratification of a casual fling. Honestly, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but I would say overall that just at least try your best to get back with God. I'm not saying necessarily you should give up your social life and just throw everything away. But there's something to be said about when you get away from God and things get secular, it becomes more or less of a makeshift belief paradigm, and things get contradicted and hard to understand overall. I can't believe I haven't talked about my knee at this time. What's wrong with me? There you go. Alright. I can't. Man, that was wrong with me. Oh man. I honestly was supposed to do this on Thursday, but I got caught up in a bunch of shit. Real life had to happen. And I had to take a day off. And then Friday came along and everything went by so fast that day. And everybody went live at the same time. So I was like, shit, man. I got this topic idea. I piggybacked off of another channel that I was watching that I occasionally sometimes. Also, let me add this. I don't know. I don't remember if it was Wednesday or this Saturday. But there's a live happening over at the channel of the ladies of iTalk who are asking men, I think asking just men, it could be both men and women, I could be wrong, about what their favorite things are to do in the bed. I assumed the topic was it was very vague. I didn't even ask. But yeah, if you would like to be on the panel, you'd like to be 9 times out of 10, it's an open panel anyway, regardless of what the topic is. Shoot over there and let your opinions be known. And I gotta call myself out right here, bro. I lied. I said I was gonna be consistent with my re-uploads and shit and for the live streams, and I just haven't been. I have been lazy as shit, boy. Procrastinating like a mug. But since I've pretty much made the choice to stop frequenting a lot of channels now, I'll have more time for myself. Regardless if I have to monologue it or whatever, talk to myself, fuck it. Because believe it or not, and this is a crazy thing to say, but as a content creator, I was supposed to do that anyway. So I'm not really saying anything all profound or introspective to some higher type of learning or knowledge. But that's my stance on that. Now, the elephant in the fucking room. I'm gonna say it. The reason why I have this title, not just for the main topic which I already talked about. Also, what really is the problem with me being open and proud about it? Like, what specifically what law, what type of what type of a code of conduct am I violating? What am I being indecent about? When I'm on a live stream of someone else's and people are necessarily throwing shade at white people, and I stand up for us. Why specifically? And it could be just like a whole hour-long fest of like, the white man is the oppressor, yada 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 bullshit. And when somebody finally sticks up for themselves, that becomes the straw that breaks the camel's back. Why is it that when I refuse to lose my square on it, even when I'm not putting other people down about it, or if I clap back when someone says something, that's the final straw that broke the camel's hump. That's the violation. That's the big sin. I very much do not understand that. And mind you, the biggest fucked up part about that part, the real fucked up thing is, I can take a joke. I can laugh at myself. But those saying the jokes can't laugh at themselves. It's very fucking weird how a lot of people don't really it boggles my mind to see people not expect a reaction to their action. It's very, very interesting to say the least. How there's a lot of people who love to hurry up and quickly, who can't breathe, right? Can't wait to hurry up, right? Because it's like a person from New York who can't. There's a meme about this kid in class, and his head is like he's about to explode, right? And like all the veins are rushing to his, and it says, "Oh, you can't go a minute without saying dead ass," right? It's like how some folks can't breathe without blaming the white man for something. It's even gone as far as to say white men created the other race's women to hurt the man. It's reached a new all-time batshit crazy. But it is what it is. I don't really. That's the funniest part. I'm not even mad at you. I don't understand how people can get upset about that. But that's just who people are, I guess. I've been up here a good 40 minutes. Evelyn, how you doing? Nice of you to stop by. I appreciate you. What's going on here? There you go. Hope all is well with you, Evelyn. I'm good. I appreciate that. I'm good. No complaints. I'm above ground, so no complaints, really. But overall, that's pretty much the gist of what I have to say today. Unless you're not gonna sleep, unless you're not gonna stay with her, if you're gonna just fling it out, I think these type of questions don't really matter on whether or not if she has a body count and or an OnlyFans. And it might sound like I'm defending her, right? I'm really not. That's the ironic thing about it. I'm really not. I'm just saying logically, from my perspective, it doesn't really make sense to if you're not going to stay with her. Now, I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or fashion. Now, I'm telling her to do the OnlyFans or to have the high body count, because that's detrimental in and of itself. Like, there's nothing to gain other than to tell society, "Hey, look, I've done this." But what did you get out of that? What really happened? You got something that you can't take with you when you die. So what really is the bragging right that you have to tell people that you do have a high body count and or you do prostitution online? Let's fucking be real about that. Get it how you live, man, I guess, because no one's gonna come to save you. So you're responsible for all that you have going on in life. Don't take that for granted, because there's a million people in the dirt right now who would kill to be in your position right now. So make use of it. Make it count. Be able to look back and be happy with what you did and all the time that you had with it. As far as my next topic, though, honestly, on my next live stream, man, I really gotta buckle down and really find a day. Because I think ultimately I just want to do one live a week, and I gotta look for a good day for that. I don't really want to do lives all week. Do 3 to 5 shows a week. I just don't really want to do. One show a week, honestly, for me, is good enough. And I guess I'll just do it spontaneously and remain consistent on the day that I choose. I really just did this last minute overall. I was supposed to have clips and for topics that I was going to cover, but the next live stream, I promise I'll have it. I know I talk a lot of shit, and I say I'm gonna do it, and you end up finding out that I didn't. But I have the clips ready. I just gotta essentially just upload them. But for some odd reason, StreamYard won't let me upload while I'm live streaming. I'm thinking a Monday or a Thursday should be a good day for me to live stream. And I'm on the West Coast. I'm in Pacific Standard Time, so I'm kind of more or less looking at the time zones of those who are in the East Coast. So everybody that I know on here is predominantly who I've met, mostly from there, and or reside somewhere there. But it's probably going to be a relationship topic for the most part. A lot of people who I've talked to about the topic, it's a mixed thing, like I did with the last one. And that's the thing, though. I like when it's mixed. I don't like a uniform answer to something when I have a question, because I'm able to adjust how I go about it when I do address the topic. Now, mind you, I want to start by saying this. It's a clip, right? They're skits though, right? But the topic in and of itself within the skit is what I want to talk about. I think it's a good perspective farming topic, because I have a stance on it, but I would like to hear other people's. If you want to join the panel or not, don't worry, it'll be an open panel. There's nothing really obligated. I would like to talk to somebody who has a different perspective on it, though. I would, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It involves exes, ex-lovers, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends. I've seen the topic get a little spicy before, but yeah, no, that's not how I do it. But I do think it's something we're talking about. On whether or not should you stay in contact with said ex after you've broken up and or gotten in a new relationship? Should you break all ties? Should you be forced to break ties with them? As asked by your boyfriend or your girlfriend? I appreciate it. I think so too. I think to because a lot of people land differently on a topic like that. That's why I want to know about everybody's perspective on it. You know what? Oh, let me just let me wrench you up real quick. As well. My check. Can you hear me? Hello. Alright, cool. I'm doing this all by phone, so bear with me. Yeah, a lot of people have a difference on this because I talk to folks who are kind of like me. They don't really care about what their exes are doing after they've broken up. And there's some who I've also talked to who said that, they're hella cool with them. Especially, mind you, I am going to factor in the fact that whether or not if you do or don't have kids with them. So, because that would be wrong not to. Because a lot of things do factor in when you have that conversation. Because, life happens. My mom and dad don't always get along, and sometimes it's healthier for them to break up. Contrary to belief to a lot of people, because if you're staying together, trust me, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But yeah, I'll put it like that. It's healthier to break up than it is to stay with each other sometimes. But anywho, that's another topic for another day. Also, I'm kidding. I was going to say 7, but keep it to myself. I had this thought that I should go live during the week, but then have a topic day like I was before. But I was like, I honestly would like both men and women up on the panel to talk about it. I think it's I honestly think it's a positive. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's just a skit, but there's a topic within that skit is why I want to talk about it. Yeah, that's how I've always do things around here. I want as many perspectives on things as possible because it's greater for the conversation. I don't want a unilateral, everybody's monolithic type of approach. So be on the lookout for that. I'm aiming for Thursday, right? And I was going to call it Thirst, THIRST day. Right? Snitching on myself and giving people ideas. Who the fuck watches my channel? But all in all, overall, I've been pretty chill. I've been minding my own business for the most part. going around to very much different type of sectors and talking to people. And there are going to be some topics that I might cover that are not going to be in the highest of regard, right? A lot of things that are like not a lot of people like. I mean, a lot of people do like to like, I would say overall, like say stuff that I'm a fan of, like say professional wrestling, for instance. I may do a live stream covering stuff on that. And I think that there are people who I talk to for and stuff like that, but I think it might be just like gaming streams, next to nothing. But yeah, but since I'm back pretty much on the live streams, like I said before, I've taken everybody's wrenches because I just wasn't going live anymore. Now that I'm back, I'm going to be gradually giving them back out. So it is what it is. But anyhow, yeah, I've been up here 55 minutes just rambling about bullshit. I appreciate you all coming by and listening to little old me for some odd reason. I think now I'm gonna chill, just edit my videos and just relax for the rest of the day. I appreciate you all stopping by. I thank you all so much. I fully, wholeheartedly appreciate it. Even when it's just me just talking to myself. One person comes, just leave one comment. Does or doesn't hit the Cash App. I equally love everybody to fucking say. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that was in the comment section today. Frankie Blanco, Cellulite Podcast, and Evelyn. I appreciate you all shooting through, showing your boy some love. I will see y'all on the next one, which is more than likely Thursday. So, God bless, good night, and don't let your freak off and all that bite. See ya.
my days. A little tobacco in my lungs. 17 miles